Hey, this is PFG Live, but not Sunday. It's actually Wednesday. It's the hump of the week. Welcome aboard. We have a special edition today because our good friend Tuck, who is usually in Buffalo, New York, is in Chicago, Illinois, and he is going to bring back some live coverage from IMTS, the International Machine Tool Show. So let's see if we got him in here. I don't know what's going to happen when I push this here button. Let's see what happens. Let's see. We got audio, and we should have video. Tuck from Chicago. Hello. You're on the air.
Hello, Spencer.
How are you?
How are we doing today?
Well, on the East Coast.
I am exhausted. Wait, hang on. So, what is the temperature? Because it is a balmy, I want to say 82 degrees and sunny, as it has been almost all week here. So, let's hear it from Windham, New Hampshire.
Here in Windham, New Hampshire, it's 73 degrees and 50% relative humidity, blue skies, and sunshine. It almost sounds too good, doesn't it?
It does, but please continue.
In honor of this special edition,
we interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
So how's IMTS? So what are you up to?
IMTS has been amazing. I am currently in the Toolpath podcast booth, which they very graciously provided for anybody who wanted to do any podcast or recording here with quite the setup to be able to work on our whole community here. And it has just been fantastic. There is cornhole literally behind this wall behind me, so people are throwing beanbags, and I hope I don't get pelted with them, to be honest, because there's no roof on this building right now. But they have a cornhole tournament going.
You do realize that you just said on a live video, you hope you don't get pelted by a beanbag from the cornhole tournament. Did they?
I sure did.
I heard that they did use PFG Stones to stone the cornhole targets. Is that true?
I couldn't tell because it was so flat.
It was so flat. Oh my gosh! So you went out. Go ahead.
Go on.
No, go ahead. No, you.
My son was actually playing with the bean bags and was picking them up, throwing them in, and so me and my wife, who was here with me as well, not here, but so we would throw them in, and my son would go pick them up and throw them in, and I'd be like, "Yes, it's in the hole."
You brought a ringer.
I sure did.
So, did you have any? Is there any other family out there, or this was literally grab the whole family, the nuclear family, and take them to IMTS?
Nope. This is it. We decided to go for a vacation out to Chicago and made a week out of it.
That is so cool. So, what's it like? I mean, I've never. Oh, look at that! There's the logo. He's showing.
There we are. How's that?
That's much better. I've never been to an IMTS. I've been to East Tech, so I don't have a sense of the size. What's it like?
It is huge. Imagine a Walmart or a Target. Target might be even better. Now multiply that by 6, and I'm talking mega Target, mega Walmart. There are 6 separate halls.
Wow.
That you could go to. There's 4 on the 3rd floor and 2 on the 2nd floor that you can just go around and explore. And imagine a machine shop for a major conglomerate, it's all here. Every machine, every manufacturer, they're all here. They all have active demos of machines cutting metal, machines actually working. They're all powered up, and they were all installed within the last week or 2, which is the most incredible part.
Wow. Yeah, I would imagine that the logistics of just getting everything in there is its own show.
It sure is. I am scared to know how much it cost for even rigging up one set of machinery for one brand, much less this whole place. And I'm on the 3rd floor, mind you, and there are CNC machines a plethora of CNC machines. I want to know how thick the concrete is for this facility, to be honest, because that's just one of those I need to know sort of things.
Dale would like to know, what is the largest machine you've seen so far?
Largest machine I've seen. I think they've got a gantry mill that was running around and doing machining live demo with full 5 axes. And it had to have been, let me think of my American units for a second, 10 foot by 20.
Okay.
For the machining area.
So that's 7 meters by 3 or 4 meters.
Yeah, and so, I mean, multiply that by 2 because you needed the enclosure around it and all of the hydraulics and everything else.
Pretty cool. Evils is just mentioning the U.S. electrical grid. Did the entire U.S. electrical grid terminate in the IMTS building?
I don't know. I haven't seen the power go even flicker yet, even though the whole place turned on, which is the most impressive part, to be honest.
Incredible. What was your favorite thing that you've seen so far?
My favorite thing so far, apart from the cornhole tournament at Toolpath, it's 2 things, actually. The first one has to be the VF2 SSP, which is the popcorn machine shaped in the form factor of a VF2.
That's awesome.
But it only makes popcorns, hence why the VF SSP, which is so good, made by Yeti Man 01. It's perfect. The little control panel swivels. You can open the glass doors, and it makes fantastic popcorn. The second greatest thing, over at the Kern booth, they have a demo where they have one of NASA's spaceships that go into orbit. It's a spaceship. I had a good friend of mine, Ethan Patain, manufactured, I know at least the stand and base for that display, and the back of the spaceship opens and closes from the spindle and all the tooling that's installed in the machine. So the machine will tip over, it will open the hatch, turn it around, open the other hatch, show it around, because obviously you got to do that. It's a showpiece. And then it will close the hatch, and then it will send it back to the pallet pool and put it in another part. And it will start doing that demo. That has to be easily one of my other favorite things for this show.
So how long does the show go for? And when did it start? When did it start?
The show goes from Monday through, I want to say Friday.
Okay.
But it might be Saturday too. It is from, depending on which hall you're in, 2 of the halls open from 9 to 5, and the other 2 are 10 to 6. So it's a little staggered time. And yesterday I was in one of the halls when it started closing at 5, and the lights went to half dim, almost like final call at a bar. And we were like, "Yep, time to get out of here. It's closing time apparently."
So did you was showing on the main screen here this picture, which was taken, by the way, by John Saunders. he sent this picture, this recon picture to me. Did you wear the Iron Man helmet around the floor?
Are you talking about this?
Yes, I am talking about that.
I wore this all over the floor.
That's awesome.
I have several pictures of people with me wearing it.
Oh, that's great.
So right before this, and we will get into this in a little bit further, we had the Instant Machinist meetup today, right before this at 3 o'clock my time, 4 o'clock for you, where everybody met up at the Kern booth, and we had everybody chatting. So, yes, I was wearing this around, and was absolutely, definitely showing off what I had made, and yeah, this thing's cool. I love it. So
it's awesome.
Just keep your eyes peeled for a full suit. So all I can say is a full suit is definitely coming.
We are looking forward to it. That'll be awesome. So
so the show goes Monday through Friday 5 to 9
Yep.
or 10 to 6, and is all inclusive. And in fact, there are a few after parties for certain vendors that they're actually really good to try and keep people involved, and obviously to try and sell more things to people, because that's half the reason for this show, is
Of course.
to sell the machines that you are seeing.
That was the mute button. Let's see. DBX posted the McCormick Place details on that. Thank you, sir. That's pretty amazing. So, can you name a company, a machine tool company that's not there, or are they just basically all there?
I don't know anybody who's not here.
That's amazing.
Almost anybody related to machine tooling, they are here.
Pretty cool. I noticed that there's names on the walls of your podcast booth. So these are
Yes, there are a number of names all over the booth. They are all people who have influenced and helped the machining group as a whole within tolerance, taps, and patience. I am very bad at aiming this without looking at myself.
That's pretty cool.
This, obviously, Toolpath is here, but it is a wonderful, wonderful place to do all of this.
Have there been any like talks that you've attended, or have you?
I have not. I have not attended any of the in-person talks that are provided to by IMTS. A few of them you have to pay to get into. And I am currently on vacation and cheap, and decided not to go to any of those. But there are a few live on stage talks that you can go and listen to as part of your visit to IMTS.
Pretty cool. Who have you met for the first time that you'd never met before?
Oh my God! So,
like, people you knew from the community, but you never shook their hands.
So, where do I even begin? Because believe it or not, there are a lot of people this IMTS that I have met, because I have made many an acquaintance through the Instagram community. So all of the Insta machinists. I'd go through Kenny Urban of Patriot Machinist. Where else do I go? Possum Solutions. There's almost too many to list. I literally can't do it.
Okay, fair enough.
I've been trying to.
I put you on the spot.
I've been trying to post a whole bunch of people each day of who I have met as just kind of a follow up, but I know so many people I can't list them all.
So is this a biannual? Like, is this every 2 years or is this every year?
This is biannual, the 2-year version, not the twice a year biannual version.
Right.
So every 2 years, IMTS is held in Chicago. This will be my second time I have been to IMTS. The last one, 2 years ago, I went with my brother, which was a fantastic time. We learned a lot. And I now kind of have a good lay of the land of how to move about because of that last visit.
Pretty cool. Well, let's see if we have any questions from the audience. We've got some folks watching on YouTube, and we got folks in the Discord server. And we'll take audio or video questions, or I should say audio questions or text questions. Evils says, any interesting 3D printing?
Yes. Mantle had a great display of 3D printed metal prints from car exhausts and other things. There was over at the Hexagon booth, they had a very, very fancy car of a brand I do not know, but the whole thing was the whole car. Let me give you a little perspective. The whole car costs $2.3 million. It has about 1,300 horsepower and only weighs about 435 pounds.
Holy cow.
The entire back of it is completely 3D printed. All of the internals, 3D metal printed, I should specify. It is impressive.
Pretty neat. What?
In fact, the people at the show booth can't even touch it.
Oh, really?
There's a separate team that is only allowed to touch it.
I'm sure it's a little bit valuable. That's pretty neat. And what? Any other 3D printing things of note?
Any other 3D printing things of note?
By the way, well,
I think
Nick,
the only other 3D printing worth noting would be Grimsmo's little fabrication system that I have for him. I wish he had come. John, I'm very sorry you couldn't show up. It's totally up to you, but maybe next time we can meet, shake hands, and I can provide you with your own scaled minifigure.
That's awesome.
For your enjoyment. So I wish you the best. I know you had other things that came up, so best of luck, John.
Maybe we'll have to do a trek out to see John. So Nick says, "No way! I'm here while the stream is actually live." Yes, yes, you are. Well, welcome. Okay, so 3D printing. Dale says, "What have you bought or put a deposit on?"
Nothing yet. My wife is doing a very good job of making sure I don't buy anything. But
you could bring one of two things to IMTS: your wallet or your wife, but not both. Is that
not both?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's see. We have any audio questions from the Discord crew? We were happy to take those, and I will recognize Mr. Carl Tauber. And I can't see it from here. Mayek? I know you. I just don't know how to spell your name. Well, did you see any surprising technology that you've never seen before? Tell me what you saw.
Yes and no. So the surprising technology, no. Other than the 6C tooling that's also at the current booth, where they are able to make 0.5 millimeter diameter tooling that's 12 millimeters long, no problem. And they're like, that's easy. That just kind of blew my mind, especially when they're using that to drill silicon carbide sheets, basically to turn into a shower sprayer. But the most surprising thing I've seen is how much automation there is at this show. 2 years ago, there was a good chunk of automated arms for loading, unloading, and moving things around. And in this show, everybody has an automated arm to load, unload parts. It's everywhere. I mean, I'm just.
So did you get the impression that the industry is considering cobots, which I assume is what you're describing?
Correct.
They're considering it basically standard equipment now.
Yes, it should be industry standard to have a cobot with your machine, and that is not a means of taking people's jobs away. It is a means to work more efficiently with the people you've already got, or find new ways and productive means of using that time.
Pretty cool.
So, plus you can also start working towards running lights out 24/7, which is where you lose a lot of time loading and unloading, because theoretically you should only be running 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. You should have a life outside of work instead of 16 hours 7 days a week. That's that's crazy. It's not sustainable. But having a cobot or something maximize your efficiency, that seems to be the future that everybody is selling here.
So are you seeing machine tool companies putting their names on cobots, or are you seeing cobot companies with their names on their cobots working in conjunction with the machine tool
The
dealers?
second one, there's a lot of cobot branded machines that are with the manufacturers, and the manufacturers of like milling machines have packages that you can immediately put their product with their machine and have at it, so it will load and unload.
Neat. Yeah, our good friend Adam from MHM Machining, he put a cobot into his shop, and he's starting to get that up and running. I'm pretty excited about it, and that was an add-on. Let's see. Dale wants to know, any good swag?
Oh, any good swag? There's all sorts of swag. So I think this one's really cool. So this is actually machined at the show. This is a ball inside a square. This is awesome. Very cool. They actually were making these 2 at a time on a dual spindle mill.
Yeah.
So at the same time, they're making 2 of these, and they were spitting them out. I was most impressed.
So who did that? Which company did that?
That is SW, which I believe is Smart Work Holding. I believe. There's so many names here. It is almost hard to keep up with, to be honest. So most of the swag that I get is more functional in nature. Some more than others.
Did you get any carbide tooling?
No, I have not gotten any carbide tooling. In fact, most of the other useful swag I've gotten is like GD&T callouts that I can post in the shop, which would be very useful because my brain memory not very good. Obviously, I have some of the best swag and stickers.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yes, and if you look carefully, I have
some
the
pins.
Artemis.
Yeah.
The Precision Museum up in Vermont and the Artemis pin, which are both very
the Precision
cool.
Museum has a booth.
Yes, they do. They have a whole kids area of IMTS specifically for encouraging our younger generation and giving them a more hands-on and visual learning of, hey, this is machining, this is robots, come check this out, this is cool. Get them excited, get them learning, which is just so cool because we need so much more of that.
That's pretty neat.
In fact, I had brought my son down there to go and play around with a bunch of the robots, and he learned a new word at the show. It's called robot. So he's going, "Hi, robot. Hi, robot." It's very cute.
It sounds very cute. Let's see. Josh says, what is something that you did not expect to see at a machine tool show?
What did I not expect to see? Oh, you guys are really giving me the hard questions here. What did I not expect to see? I didn't expect to see a popcorn machine in the shape of a Haas, to be honest. I did not expect that at all.
Did they have a Haas in the shape of a popcorn machine? That's what I want to know.
Not yet. Not yet.
Evil says, besides doing a live with Spencer and being recognized by Saunders, did you spot any other machinist celebrities? Whatever that means.
Earlier today was the Instant Machinist meetup at the Kern booth at 3:00 local time, 4:00 for you guys, where anybody in the Instant Machinist group got together and met up and said hi. This way we could all kind of put a face to each of the usernames that we've got. I got to meet so many more people, one of which was Bob, Bob Phyllis, who is a avid Grimsmo follower. I got to play with the CL, the Bob CL specifically. That was amazing. That will have a special place in my memory for this place. It is definitely a core memory at this point. Obviously, I got to see Johnny Five. That was cool. That is definitely a celebrity.
Yeah, Johnny Five is a celebrity, and I know I got to do a little tiny contribution to Johnny Five, and it was Saunders. Was Saunders grinning from ear to ear?
Saunders was very much grinning ear to ear. Of course, he's being very humble and saying that, it's not done. There's still so much to do. But I had to go, John. But look at what you have accomplished. This is amazing.
Well, even more, just to like sing his praises a little bit. He was invited. Okay, he was invited to. He was asked if they could use Johnny Five, which I think is super cool. So there, I had to keep my mouth shut for weeks. Let's see. We had a question. Unix Carbide. Did you have an audio question for us?
I did. Am I here?
Affirmative,
Yep.
sir. Yeah, you're on the air.
Yeah.
New York City. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, all this fun stuff. I'm walking home. Sorry, if I missed something here. I was walking out. Conference schmonference, right? It's good. It's good. It definitely is about people. Kind of is about the stuff. Fine. Food. What are you doing here? Also, a
Food.
secondary follow-up on that. Saunders, New York City wants to know what Saunders thinks of Chicago pizza. We're listening.
So this is all about the food. Give us a food report, and specifically, we need to know about Chicago pizza.
So specifically about Chicago pizza, Chicago is well known for their very deep dish, almost thick pie-like pizzas, which I think are very good. They are not the same as a New York style pizza. They are two very separate entities and cannot be compared one to one.
No, it's
they
okay.
each have their own pros and cons.
You don't have to
I like Chicago. I like New York better, though.
You don't have to go too crazy with that. We know you're in Chicago and that there's people around you who can hear you talking. So don't feel like
this is a safe place, though. This is a safe space.
Say what you got to say. That's fine.
If you need to be rescued, just blink your left eye.
I'm telling him the truth. Don't worry.
We can send in a team to get you out of there.
I'll blink twice if I'm in danger.
So how's the other food? You got the Chicago pizza. What else have you had?
So, believe it or not, what was it? Sunday when I showed up, they had the Taste of Chicago going on, and I immediately went and tried like 4 different things. And I had some rib tips with fries with bun. That was fantastic.
You sent me a picture of that. That looked. I wanted to get on an airplane.
It was so good. We had a churro. We had a bunch of dumplings in the area. We had cheesecake, which was fantastic. We had a few other things I can't think of off the top of my head. And I also made a few meals at home just because I could. And, Chicago's expensive, but whatever. I digress.
So if you're just joining us, because I do recognize we got some YouTube folks coming in, Tuck is in Chicago live at the IMTS show, the International Machine Tool Show, and he's giving us a live report, and we're enjoying that very much. Let's see. Did we address all your... I guess we addressed all your questions there, Unix Carbide. So thanks for asking them. Let's see. Josh said, on the Haas machines, how do those new tools look? Surface grinder and knee mill, question mark?
So the knee mill looks like a knee mill. It looks very much like a Bridgeport.
Yeah.
It certainly has all the features of a standard Bridgeport. The surface grinder, I have much more to talk about. So the surface grinder, I couldn't even play with, but from everything that I have seen and talking with the representatives there, this is more of a showpiece floor model than it is the final product. A lot of the pictures I have taken of any of my postings show more control-y sort of buttons for the actual movement and a hydraulic table back and forth. The plan is that that is not the final result. The final result will actually have an LCD screen that has actual controls. There will actually be, they're saying it will be a touch screen, but we will see. And more than likely, it will not be released until Q1 of next year. So they still have a ways to go as far as getting it ready to go.
So my reaction when I saw the picture that they posted, and then I think I saw a picture from you. I'm not sure, but my reaction was, okay, that looks like a grinder from 25 years ago. And, you know, if Haas is going to come out with this is just me whining, okay? If Haas is going to come out with a grinder, I want to see a grinder with a Haas control, and like that would make me actually very happy. Yep. Not that I'm going to run out and buy it, but it's a grinder, but there's your Haas control. It makes me feel comfortable. Makes me feel like I could walk up to it and start running it. I know what I'm doing. Instead, it was like a analog control box on a grinder that looks like every other grinder. I was a little disappointed when I saw that. I almost feel like they should have held off on showing that. But that's just my opinion from hundreds and hundreds of miles away.
One of the things I did see while I was looking at it that was worth noting is what looks to be their coolant cleaning method. So they have kind of a pane-driven mesh screening system to try and get the big chunks of metal that screened out of the coolant so it can then return back to the grinding wheel.
Yep.
That was very cool because it was very compact. I would put it within a 2x2 or 3x3 square.
So somewhere between 2 and 4 clutter credits.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
But it was small enough that I went, wow, that is actually compact. Although, to be fair, I don't usually run coolant on my grinder, so I don't have a good gauge base. But it was very interesting to see what they are doing to try and sort out the coolant model. Now, one other thing worth noting is standard grinder, 6x12 or 6x18. This is almost 20 by, or what did they say? It was like 10x21 or 22.
Really?
It was big. It is a very, very large grinding area. Much bigger than standard.
So I didn't get that impression. I'm glad you brought that up. So that's a big table. I wonder if they're positioning it as like just part prep to go into one of their machines or something. I'm not seeing it yet, but
I am very curious about that as well. Now, one of the other things I'm very curious about is their CMM. So that will go, how they will use that hand in hand with all the new other products that they're coming out with, because they also have the CMM and a bandsaw that they just released.
Any idea of the country of origin? I haven't looked into this.
I am not sure. I know they were able to figure out which brand the bandsaw was. Well, which one it's coming from, because I think there might be a separate booth that's also here, but I have not seen it myself, so I can't confirm that. The CMM, I don't know. Most of the CMMs look so similar that I just can't tell.
Yeah. Very interesting. Let's see. Any other questions, guys? Just put them in the chat, and we'll try to address them. And if you have any audio questions, we'll be happy to bring you in. Carl has a question. Stand by for Carl. Rhode Island, you're on the air. You have to unmute yourself, though. You're muted. I feel like it's a Zoom meeting now. You're muted.
It is officially a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
Zoom meeting.
There he goes.
Hi, Chuck.
There you
guys
are.
hear me now?
Loud and clear,
Okay.
Carl. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. How's your son enjoying the show?
He loves it. He actually has
Wonderful.
fallen asleep out on the floor multiple times.
Wonderful. And have you gotten any orders for your for your Iron Man helmet?
Orders? Not yet. I have had many people come up and want a picture of them, which I am happy to provide.
Excellent. Excellent.
Did you just bring the helmet or did you bring more of it?
I only brought the helmet for fear of breaking it in transit, and it's not really something I could really be mobile at a convention, wearing a backpack or anything, because I need a backpack if I want to pick up all the swag and all that. So it's all tactical, I swear. But no, I just brought the helmet because it was self-contained. I could control the whole thing. I only brought the helmet.
Outstanding. Thanks for your question, Carl. You have any more? Or are you all set? I think.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Carl.
How's the weather
Take care.
how's the weather down south in Rhode Island there, Carl?
We had a nice sunny day today, and it's cooling off now.
Yeah, we did also.
75 in the daytime and 55 at night. It's heaven.
So Carl is like, I could throw a softball at Carl if I had, an Iron Man arm. Josh says, too bad the Squire is a little too small to carry the swag and take care of your plate armor.
Yes, he is just too small. But soon he will be tall enough to take care of it. He will have his own suit one day.
I could warn you that they do grow up. And he's
already growing up and is absolutely humongous.
So what percentage of the show do you think you've actually seen?
I think I've seen about, what is it? At least 60% of it.
Okay, and it's Wednesday.
At least. Yes, and it's Wednesday. Now, to be fair, a lot of it has been me going to targeted places to go meet targeted people in particular, like Kern, Pool Path, among a few. And obviously Kern for the Instant Machinist meetup.
Yep.
But most of the time has been running after a child that has been taken care of, which is great fun. He has absolutely been amazing, and most people, when I walk by, they're like, "Oh, so cute," and then they see him crying. It's like, "Oh, so sorry." Otherwise, they will try and provide little tinkers and toys for him to play with. This is not one of them. Here you go. Here's a tinker toy for you. Go play with this.
That's awesome. New York Machinist, welcome aboard, sir. Says, what's the coolest thing you've seen so far?
Coolest thing I've seen so far. I'm still going with that Kern. The Kern demo. Other coolest thing, yeah, definitely the popcorn machine. Definitely a popcorn machine.
Now, DBX says Tormach has a nice display. What did you visit Tormach?
Yes, Tormach has their what is it? The 1500 with it's basically like a mini 3-axis vertical machining center. It's nice. Tormach has come a long way from where they had started.
Did you
see mostly stepper motors? It looks legit.
Did you see our friend Tom Zalickman? Do you know? I don't know if you know Tom. Inspiration Machine Works. So you have a mission. I'm giving you a mission. You have to go track down Tom and tell him that we all said hi. So we're going to have Tom on the PFG.Live in the future. He's on the short list. So go say
what?
Tom Zalickman, ZELICKMAN at Tormach. he's a cool guy, and we like him, and we'll have him on soon.
It is on my list of things to do.
Outstanding. Dale asks, did you see a robot throwing a car or anything else super big robot stuff?
Yes. There is a Fennec robot that is currently picking up and moving a Corvette, a whole Corvette, up into the air and moving around like it weighs nothing. It was most impressive.
That's pretty cool. How big? What's the diameter of the arm by eyeball?
The arm, the whole cell. I mean, the whole cell's probably 40 by 40.
Wow.
The arm, I mean, it's bigger than the size of me. I am tiny compared to this thing. It is a giant tree. I have no good metric for how big this thing is, but it is giant. It looks like there is a forklift counterweight on the back of it.
And it's yellow. Is it yellow?
It's big and yellow.
It's
big and yellow. With this bright red Corvette on the end of it that it keeps picking up and putting down.
Excellent choice. Excellent use of color. Steven's here. Hi, Steven. He says, the coolest thing you've seen in terms of new technology. So
new technology.
Well, the 3D metal printing sounded pretty slick.
The 3D metal printing was actually there last year. I'm more impressed with more of the lights out machining that we've been able to get to this point with. All of the cobots and everything else, loading and unloading, has been most impressive. The Toolpath, which I am in the Toolpath booth, their software is very impressive for figuring out how to, if your tool library and your machine can actually make a part and identify any of the features that cannot be machined of a part before you even start quoting it and trying to make it. That was very impressive.
Steven says, so AI cam? Question mark?
Yes.
Did they use use the term AI?
They did.
Interesting.
In fact, their beta version of Toolpath that they are currently releasing, and the beta version is free with any Toolpath, allows you to export toolpaths directly from the software right into Fusion and basically allow you to mill a whole feature ready to go, a whole part. Now, it is in beta, so it is not everything worked perfectly. No, that is not where they are at yet, but that is the stepping stone of where they are going.
Pretty.
It's very, very cool stuff.
Let's see. Daniel F. found a video. Let's see if I could play this. Hope I don't break anything.
We do it live.
We do it live.
We always do it live.
There's the video of the Fanuc moving around the Corvette.
Yep.
Come on, move it. You got to move it, move it.
It's slow.
Oh, there it goes. Look at that.
And up it goes.
Yeah, pretty amazing. And you got to see that live and in person. Holy cow.
Very impressive. Now, a few extra shout outs, because while I have them, I actually got to meet Mr. Hermit Shed.
Oh,
I got
excellent.
his sticker.
Nice.
049 machine. Absolutely awesome. I got to meet Nushra, the CNC Swiss operator. She was wonderful. To meet most of the impractical machinists I had at Old Boys, hooked me up with a Renaissance guard, a guard, which was absolutely wonderful. Brad from Marvel Machining, everybody who's over at the Insta Machinist or Impractical Machinist, they were there. Ian Sandusky, Milspec Manufacturing, absolutely wonderful people. I also got to see my good friend Ethan Patain and his RIT counterparts, Ethan and Leif Makes, along with several other people that are not coming to my mind at this moment. But I absolutely appreciate anybody who walked up to me and said, "Hey, hi, I saw you from Instagram," because I know there are a few of you, and I cannot remember. Ben from Black Fox Machining, who is also here at Toolpath, makes some of the coolest knife holders. Is really a utility knife holder that swivels out and is held with magnets. Absolutely fantastic. I love what he's doing. So cool to see. I got to meet him here. He's like, "Oh, you're at Tuck's Garage," and my mind was blown that it's even one person recognized. So, and I absolutely love what you're doing. Keep it up.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Josh says, listen.
Obviously, I have to also give huge props to my wife for even allowing me to do this, come out here and take care of our child, while I do ridiculous things like, post a podcast in the middle of the machining conference and she's pushing her around in a stroller, just playing with them around. So she's the real champion.
Happy wife, happy life. That's what I say.
Yes.
Let's see. Josh says, listen to the Within Tolerance episode 233 with Justin Gray from Toolpath. They talk about that. Okay, so Within Tolerance episode 233. Outstanding.
Yes. I had the honor of meeting Justin from Toolpath, who is the founder of Toolpath and is easily one of the my favorite people I have met in this whole show. Definitely top 5. And then, of course, I had the honor of meeting Al Wutmo, who is now in charge of Toolpaths, which is just a huge honor, even though I had no idea who he was up until about a month ago. But he is absolutely a character worth meeting.
Neat.
Obviously, a very impressive person.
New York Machinist asks, did you hear or see the new Tormach cut? How did it look?
No, I did not.
How did it look compared to other entry-level professional machines like a Haas TM or a Sayel?
It looked very comparable from what I could tell, but I did not notice any issues.
So it sounds like they're positioning that thing in the same market as the Sayel. That's what my gut feeling is.
I think they've got it perfectly positioned to be a great entry mill for any either hobbyist or somebody who's just starting out trying to make parts in their garage or as a professional shop.
Steve asks, are there any defense companies there?
Defense companies. Does NASA count?
Sorta. Not.
NASA is here. I can't name any defense companies per se. Obviously, there are vendors here or participants here are from the manufacturing world, but I was not paying enough attention to see any gun manufacturers.
Okay. I think we're almost out of questions here. What's your plan for the rest of the week?
So this will be my final day at the show. This will literally probably be the last thing I do here. And
we have that effect. We have that effect on people, by the way. I just usually after we do this, they run screaming. So that's normal. That's totally normal.
The rest of the week will more than likely be spent going to the aquarium and exploring Chicago, as well as maybe a shop tour from a local machinist, Patriot Machinist.
Oh, okay. That sounds familiar.
I'm hoping to get one shop tour and then head home Sunday morning or Saturday morning. Correct.
So Josh says, well, do tell them to get flat and stay flat. And I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And if any of you are not subscribed or following along on the YouTube or come join us on the Discord, you should absolutely do that. We have one absolutely fun, wild, and laughable time.
We do, don't we? So you're awesome. Thank you for taking the time to share with us from your family vacation.
Of course, Spencer. My pleasure.
And running around. I was asked only 675 times if I was going to go out to IMTS, and I could not pull it off. But I'm glad that I'm glad you're representing, and others that we know and like are representing. If you see Mr. That's very excellent. You spelled it right too. If Mr. Saunders is visible again, just tell him I said hi. But you might not see him at this point.
He says hello, by the way, because he
Excellent.
took a picture of my shirt and wanted to send it to you, just so you knew what you were missing out on.
Yeah, there's the picture that John took. That was excellent. As you were getting ready. So thanks so much. And by the way, I don't know if you even saw the thumbnail that we put out. There's the thumbnail.
I did not. That's fantastic.
Yeah, we made you look good, best we can. So with that, I'm going to say thank you very, very much. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, we do a normal show on Sundays at 2 p.m. on the East Coast. You could figure it out for your coast. And Tuck is a regular and a mod on our Discord server, which just underwent a couple of little changes, which are behind the scenes and positive, so don't worry about that. And any final words before we sign out?
Nope. All this brought to you by the Toolpath podcasting booth here at Chicago. And we are having a wonderful time here. If any of you are getting FOMO, that is totally natural. You should totally feel that, and you should have been here.
Outstanding.
Until next time, this has been fantastic, Spencer. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And don't forget to get flat and stay flat.
Show us the T-shirt.
This is PFG.Live.
Show us the back. There it is, folks. Get flat and stay flat. And we'll see you guys on Sunday. Thank you, Tuck.